Fellow aviators, the URF Simmer here. Welcome to this flight today in the ToLiss Airbus A319 on X-Plane 11. We are here at Hilo International, getting ready to leave on VATSIM in a United Virtual Airlines flight up to Honolulu. So, airplane is already initially fired up. The previous crew left some items on. Did get the ADRs started with the alignment for us, which was very kind of them. So we'll be able to get going with that. Did already pick up the weather down here in Hilo. Pretty nice evening. Overcast 4,000. Winds are 340 at 8, 10 miles. Temperature 22, 2.17, and altimeter is now 2987. So I'll tune that in. Looks like our controller on VATSIM just went offline. So we'll, it's too bad. But maybe it'll come back on a little bit. It is getting kind of late. Alright, so we do have that. Let me go through the rest of the initial cockpit prep flow here. We have the ADRs aligned. We'll go ahead and turn on the crew supply of oxygen. And come down here, check our consumables like the oxygen PSI. It's at 1850. And also, let's check our engine oil quantity. It's up above 17 quarts. And our hydraulic quantity, everything is in the green. So perfect. Status is good. Not recalling any previous things. I have the brightness pretty good on our panels right now. Hopefully you can see it at home. I know it's a little bit dark in this cockpit at night. And squawking is, I'll go ahead and set that in. We're going to be squawking 1200 since we're flying uncontrolled now in VATSIM. Open up the cockpit door. We have the jet bridge connected here. Should be having the passengers loading in here pretty soon. Alright, let's go ahead and load up our flight plan now. And it's just going to be as filed because that's basically all we have to go by. So I'm gonna pull up my flight plan on SimBrief, and if you're aware of SimBrief, you know how great it is. If not, I'd definitely recommend it if you're going to be flying transport category aircraft around. So the cost index on there is 23 this evening. I'm setting cruising at flight level 360. So I'll type that in with the keyboard, get our latest wind requested, and we'll get the flight plan going. So I think we're going to be taking off runway 26 this evening out of Hilo, with the winds being at 340 at 8, and it's Paris for departure. And transition is Paris. And then from Paris, it's an airway. It's a Victor 22 to Apollo Point. Oops, let's see. Victor 2, I'm sorry, just 1 2. See, at least it catches you right when you make a mistake like that. That's nice. So, Victor 2 to Apollo Point, Victor 16 to Lanai, Lima, November Yankee, and the Jewel 5 arrival into Honolulu. So let's go down and find Honolulu, and we hit L5 here next to Honolulu. Arrival find the arrival here. It's the Jewel 5. With the Lanai transition. And I think approach is going to be let's actually have the arrival up right here. Let's take a look at it really quickly. Yeah, it'll probably be from Jewel and actually, well, let me go back to this. Didn't mean to do that. Let's go back here. We gotta reload the arrival. So I do think it's gonna be the ILS to 4 right Yankee, and the star is gonna be the Jewel 5. With the approach, it'll be the Elena. Transition is going to be Lanai. Alright, that should work now. So Elena, then Yepku Debris. Yep, that all matches. We'll verify here in just a bit. It's showing 237 in the FMS and 250 is on the release for our planned distance. So following that acronym for programming the FMS and the A319 diff rips. So next up is going to be R for RadNav. That all looks good. And then we got to get our zero fuel weight and all that set up. So in the ToLiss, we'll pull up our loading screen here. And passengers, we're showing full at 120 this evening. And our zero fuel weight, we're planned at 120,771. What are we showing right now? A little bit heavy, so we'll take some cargo out just to try to get it to match up. 127.71. That'd be pretty close. So we have a zero fuel weight of 120.9 if we're gonna round it up here. And then our zero fuel weight CG is at 28.9. So slant 28.9. Put that in here. And block fuel plane gate is 9,890. So we're gonna say 9.9. Now let's load our fuel here. If it'll let me, let's put 10,000. There we go. Apply those load settings. 1+F. So we do have our performance numbers here. One thing I'm gonna write down on my scratch pad: trim is gonna be up 0.1, and we're flexing at 66. So we have all our speeds there. So progress looks good. Performance, let's go ahead and punch all these numbers in. 133, 133, and V2 is going to be 136. Perfect. Flaps at 1. Flexing at 66. Alright, that all looks good. And next up is the secondary flight plan, so we'll get that set up really quickly. That's just really to save us some time if we lose an engine right after takeoff and need to come back here. So let's say 786 Alpha, we'll get the wind in here. Whoops. And we'll play an ILS to 2.6 if we do that. And we'll get the performance in. We don't really need the takeoff numbers. All we really need is our approach item. So 2987 for the altimeter. Temperature is at 22. Wind is 340 at 8. Then, yep, that'll all be. It'll all be good for now. Should be a visual back around. And 200 for the DH. We can fine tune it if needed. Alright, so that all looks good. I'm going to close this. Let's pull up the performance page on the other CDU over here. And we'll run through the captain's flow. Starts up here at the top, makes our way down. Do the CVR test, not modeled. Go ahead and start up the APU. I'm just going to turn on our wing light. And anti-ice is all off. Landing pressurization set to auto, showing 10 feet. Honolulu, that's good. That seems accurate. Backflow is going to be on normal. Still on our external power for now. Let's check the battery charger. Make sure that's looking good. And turn this off. Get our fuel pumps all on. Check our fire protection system on the engines and APU. Alright, excellent. All looks good. Check the cargo smoke. It is not simulated in this, but just consider it complete. Got this all set up. And let's see if we have a top altitude on the Paris. I'm just going to climb us up to that if we do. Otherwise, we're just going to go all the way up to our cruising altitude, which is at way up there at 36,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and set that in. Pretty impressive. Inter-island trip. Alright, 36,000 is level 360 is set. And oxygen. Won't really let us check it on here, but we'll consider it checked. Get the terrain on. We'll set the auto brakes once we are in the, or after we push back. Oh, 122.8. That's perfect. Turn the radar on after we push back. I'll go ahead and set the tilt up to 5. And flaps are up, spoilers are retracted, engine master switches are off, engine mode selectors on normal, parking brake is set, pressure is normal, and we have our squawk 1200 in. So I think we're ready to go ahead and do our departure briefing. Looks like they've pretty much got the aircraft all serviced outside now, which is good. So let's go ahead and we'll do our departure briefing. And per the dispatch release, names are correct. We are flight 7786 Hilo to Honolulu. The weather here, PMC 287 on the meters, winds 340 at 8, plane rolling 26. Up in Honolulu, winds are 340 at 12, 10 miles, few at 3,000, scattered 5. Temperature 21, dew point 12, altimeter 287. Forecast is calling for winds 326 plus 6 miles, few 2,500, broke at 4,000. So no alternates required going into Honolulu due to the weather or the per our ops specs at United Virtual Airlines. NOTAM wise, nothing that should affect us here at Hilo. In Honolulu, some taxiway closures. There will be heads up on that. And let's Let's see, anything on the arrival? Nothing I'm finding here. And we'll brief some more of that along the way. It looks like everything is good in that front. For our taxi out here in Hilo. So we'll push back, straight back mains on the line, and then left turn out to Foxtrot, right turn Alpha to 26, unless a controller comes online here. But that's the plan. If we do have to reject the takeoff below 80 knots, it'll be for a variety of reasons. It could be for a variety of reasons. Above 80 knots, it's only going to be for a fire on the engine or in the aircraft, or a structural problem that would prevent us from being able to fly, basically. Planning flaps 1 departure speeds V1 133, VR 133, V2 136, transition altitude of flyable 180 is set, and that back there. And we'll plan to fly as filed, Squawking 1200 to flyable 360, and as filed we're showing that route as Hilo runway 26 via the Paris for departure, pitch off 26, climbing right turn via heading 045, and the Hilo 355 radial to Sapti, or climbing visual conditions to cross Hilo VR northbound at above 1200, then via the Hilo 355 to Sapti. So we'll take off right turn 045, and then it's going to have us going out to Sapti. It's in plan mode, so we can double check this. Yep, so Sapti and then Paris. And then I'll look at the legs and the flight release, make sure this all matches. Sapti, Paris, Paki, Wakpio, and Apollo Point. Over top of climb and top of descent. Lavas, Nit, Lanai. So at this point we're getting into the arrival, the Jewel 5 arrival into Honolulu. So from Lanai, next up is Grammy, Soboy, Sierra, Saki, Jewel, expect to cross at or below 14,000, Elena, and then from there have us planned on the ILS 4 right. So Elena, Yepgu, Debris, Pearly, 4 right, missed out to Elena for the hold. That all matches. FMS is showing distance of 232, and we were planned at 250, so that's all good. Put this back on here. We'll go back to arc mode. And departure frequency is going to be 122.8 unless the controller comes on. And terrain, there we have Mauna Kea right off the end of runway 26, so we'll make sure we make that right turn to the northeast per the departure. And if we lose an engine, we'll make that right turn to heading at 045, level off at 3,000 feet, work through the prop, come back to land runway 26. Alright, I think that's pretty much everything. Let's go ahead and start getting everything. Disconnect the APUs on so they can disconnect the external power. And I think we're good to disconnect the jet bridge now. And also our ground handling. Everybody can head out now. I think we're all ready to roll. So let's do our before start check, departure briefing complete, FMC's radios program set, verified, ADIRS, nav aligned, hydraulic system set, fuel panel, 6 pumps on, auto cross feed off, closed, fuel quantity is 9,960, and that is cross check. We were planning 9,890, wind fuel is 9450, so write that down. So it should be good now. Cabin signs on, hydraulic quantity normal, oil quantity normal, oxygen check complete, auto brakes will be RTO after takeoff. Altimeter is 2987, set, set, parking brake set, pressure normal, gross weight of 130,000.2 is checked airspeed bugs. V1, 133 VR, 133 V2, 136 set. Engine master switch is off. Trims will be 0, 0 up, 0.1. Doors are now closed. Let's go ahead and close the cockpit door since we're done with that. And we will lock it. And nav beacon lights are on. Cabin preparation complete. ACARS is initialized. Before start check complete. Alright, let's get our pushback crew on the way out here. Like I said, we're just going straight back. Mains on the line.
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
We are ready, so come on out. There we go.
Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
And we'll disconnect the nose wheel steering for our ground crew coming up. Here they come.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Rudder. And we'll go ahead and start monitoring the live ATC frequency. That's ambiance.
Southwest 460, system pilot pressure maintain flow 200.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Rudder, stand by 1 minute.
Roger, and your stage to Honolulu will be 10 mile west of the Lanai vortex, engine 5000.
Alright. Brakes release, clear to push, straight back, mains on the line.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Roger. Okay. So we'll start 1, then 2. Let's do it. Fire 'em up.
Southwest 595. Contact Hilo approach on 9.7 minutes.
There's our light up. That exhaust coming out now, and the fan blades are spinning.
18-3 at right now, Southwest Salvation.
I could start on 1. Here comes 2.
Convoy 4684, contact approach 118.3, good night.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Alright, parking brake set, pressure normal.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Alright. And good start there on 2. Go ahead and run through our after start flow. And clear disconnect, clear off headset. Thanks for great push. And turn the APU off.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Thanks, have a great night. Alright, so we're just hanging out, waiting.
Delta 483, just good evening, spot 2222.
Alright, can't quite see up there. She is. Alright, we have the salutes. It's good, nozzle steering on. Set flaps to 1. Brakes to RTO. And I'll turn the dome light off now. There we go. And we're ready to taxi. So here we go. Parking brake off. Full pressures went back down. Good. We're rolling. Let's check our brakes really quickly. They're working. And we'll turn out to the left. And it's gonna be dark over this way. That's for sure. I got a taxi light on now. We're not gonna be blind in the rampers.
Medevac 1 Zulu Charlie, clear direct Julie, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 8,000, Honolulu altimeter 2989.
It'll be a relatively short taxi to runway 26, as we can see there on our airport diagram. I guess I need to announce what we're doing here. So, Hilo International Traffic United 7786 taxiing from the terminal to runway 26 via Kilo Alpha. Any traffic in the area, please advise. Hilo.
Medevac 1 Zulu Charlie, Roger, L4 10.
Break it 297, good.
I will get our radar on. Get winch shear and
Break
go
it
ahead and turn on our
297. I've only had complaints of light stuff, but you can descend upon pressure, maintain flow 200, and you can level off further, you can find smooth there.
Alright, for our takeoff briefing, we are
Southwest 883, contact Maui Tower
flexing,
118.7.
rolling,
Tower 87, have a great
and we're
night.
up to flight level 360 initially, flying the Paris 4 departure, which has us making a
Delta 483, better contact Drake, correct to
climb and right turn to 045 heading. That's the path we're going to follow if we lose an engine also.
Southwest
Engine
1263,
failure,
contact
flap traction will be at 1050, climb 3000 back around via the departure. Our first fix is SAFTI, which is what we're showing in the FMS, so that all matches. It's good. And 200 knots initially, and standard aboard. Let's do our before takeoff check now. Good. Flight attendant snow, make sure that we're all set. Turn our floodlight down. Yeah, before takeoff check, flaps 1 planned, indicating green light detent. Let me do our flight control check really quickly, so stand by. Full forward, full aft, full right, full left, and we'll do a quick rudder check. And it's all good. Perfect.
Jeff, Canadian Southwest 1268,
So,
39 descending 200.
control check complete, FCU managed speed and nav. JNA soft engine mode selector normal.
Heading
Control
185.
speed check set, FMC's radios. Program set for departure, EJIPWAS radar. Radar on the right, EJIPWAS on the left, train on the left. Thrust flex 86.7 set. Takeoff configuration normally cam status check complete. Do that really quickly. ECAM status check is complete. Cabin notification complete. Transponder TAR. Takeoff memo is green. Landings and strobe lights now on. For takeoff check complete.
ILS, runway 3 approach. Delta Sierra, after this approach, depart via the missed approach procedures to Guarani. Climb and maintain 5,000.
Hilo International Traffic, United 7786, taking off runway 26 via the Paris 4 departure. We'll be departing the pattern to the north. Hilo. Alright, runway 26 is verified on the pavement there. Final looks clear. Departure into the runway looks clear.
Maintain 8,000, Honolulu altimeter 29990.
And runway 26 once again on the pavement. For a heading of 259.
Tiger 21 West.
And heading 259 is verified. Have controls, here we go. And flex, SRS, nav, auto throttles arms. Thrust is set. 90 knots. New one. Rotate. Pause rate. You're out.
I'm sorry, no problem. American 297, change my frequency 124.1.
Southwest 1268, flight heading 190.
And climb thrust. Thrust set.
1268, gonna maintain 12,000, Dakota altimeter 2986, information off for return.
Then maintain left 12,000 up to 2986. We do have us.
American 230, you should interrupt.
Once we get the speed, we'll raise our flaps. Flaps up. After takeoff check. Takeoff check, landing gear lever. Up, flaps up, engine anti-ice off, ECAM. Memo. Checked altimeter. And standing by, 5180. And autopilot on. Doing a quick flyby here. Fairly light, so we're definitely climbing well.
Southwest 1268, expect vectors to Hilo for the straight in RNAV for 3 times. Sky 3748, heavy flight 080.
Okay, out there, 13,774 feet. A monstrous volcano. Might be able to see it in the background in the dark area. Have to do some daytime flying here soon. Be a little easier to see on the stream. Alright, there's 10,000 feet. Go ahead and give the flight attendants the bells. Let's go ahead and start taking care of their quick service on this hop across the Hawaiian Island chain. Certainly am glad to have you all aboard this evening. If you have any of you all done any flying in the ToLiss A319? Or do you have a favorite commercial aircraft that you have flown in X-Plane 11? Please let me know in the comments section below, live chat. Love to hear from you. I'm always looking for some new aircraft to learn. Certainly enjoyed learning the Airbus. Alright, there's Sapti. Let's do a quick fuel check here on our release. So Sapti, we were planning 8,513 pounds of fuel. We're showing 8,340. It's burning a little more fuel than we planned. What I've found is that The sim brief release will show you burning a lot more fuel in the climb, and then once you level off at cruise, a lot of times you'll have extra fuel. So we'll just have to wait and see what it looks like. We get up to cruise flight, 36,000 feet a bit. A lot of clouds this evening, this side of the Big Island. Alright, there's flight 180. Go standard. Meters, turn off our landing lights. We turn off lights, nose lights, wing lights. And we complete the last part of the after takeoff check. Altimeter, standard set. And landing lights off. After takeoff check complete. Now, this island of Hawaii, up to our left, is called the Big Island for a reason, because it is a large island. We're probably going to almost beat our cruising altitude before we really leave the shore of the Big Island of Hawaii. It's just so huge in comparison to the other islands out here in this chain. But see, we're still, what, 30 miles from Hilo Point? So we're projected to be at flight level 298 at Apollo Point, so just about 6,000 feet from our cruising altitude at that point. So it's just incredible how huge this island is. Looks like it's staying nice and comfortable there in the back of the cabin, 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Aircraft is pressurizing. Well, the cabin altitude is already up to 5,400 feet. Quick scan through our pages here. Things looking good. Alright, so we're pretty much finished with the, yeah, we're off to Paris for departure now. So I'm just going to switch us on over to the Julie 5. I think I'm going to pop in a little reggae music for us while we go through this part of our flight. see what I can find for us here. Stand by 1 minute. We'll be ready to go. Here we go. There's one, Honolulu Bay. I do have the scenery package loaded for Honolulu. So, looks like it said something didn't load correctly, but we'll see what's going on. Hey, as long as we have some runways, we can get it on the ground, we'll be alright.
Scenery at Alpha Mike Roger, just gonna maintain flight level.
So we're thinking 29.8 at Apollo Point. Looks like that's gonna be pretty spot on. It's showing level 309 now, so. Let's say goodbye to the Big Island. And chemtrails on. Let's see. And we're off. Haleakala on the island of Maui coming up soon. I see it on the terrain display. So at Pula Point, we probably have about 7,100 pounds of fuel there. And we're playing 6810, so we're already looking good. Doing much better on our fuel.
Dying 3748, just gonna maintain 3,000. For visual approach, runway 35. Southwest 1268, contact on tower 120.3 today. ILS has a visual, just gonna maintain 3,000.
Coming up on 1,000 feet to level off. Then check our fuel once we get there at the Tapper climb. Looks like we'll be starting our descent over the island of Kahuave, just off the coast of Maui. Raise my seat up a bit. Oh yeah, see Maui down there? Very cool. And just about to get out. And out to cruise. So there we go. Alright. Let's take a break on the music for a bit. We need to go ahead and get this
American 230,
so 6,700 pounds at top of the climb. And we were planning 6231, so we're about 500 pounds. Have a schedule, which is good. There's plenty of fuel. And let's get our weather in Honolulu. Let me see if you have any of that available tonight. So one thing I like to do at BATSIM at dawn, you can go on liveatc.net and try to find some theaters. Like they have doesn't look like they have Honolulu latest up. So what I will do. Hey Kitty, how you doing? Thanks for joining in. Well, what's up, man? There's not much. A lot of stars out here over the Pacific Ocean, flying between the islands, you know. So we have the Maui. We're off our right. There's UVA, Honolulu, out that way. Let me pull up our. We'll use my cell phone. I have an app I use. It is actually called. I'll get the name of it for y'all. It's a great app. Aero Weather. And it'll give you, I mean, you can use, I can tell you this, when I was flying at the airlines, I did use this app. It's a wonderful thing just to give you a good overview of what's going on with the weather. Alright, but perf-wise, let's check our, let's enter our destination information here. So altimeter is going to be 29er. 0.89er. Temperature a comfortable 20 degrees Celsius. Wind 0204, so definitely planning runway 4 right. And let's see, MDA. What's the MDA on the 4 right ILS? Let's see. Missed approach requires minimum climbing at 318 nautical miles to 1820. We do have that, so 209 will be our MDA. If you couldn't make that climb gradient, looks like your MDA would be 308, so 99 feet higher. And it looks like our target speed is going to be 133, so very cool. Hey man, Katie, so you love the A320? That's right, yeah, not much to do with cruise, sit back and watch. I will say, flying around the Hawaiian Islands is great because you can keep the legs. Your flight time is usually not over an hour. So, pretty good. Looks like our outer tank fuel is transferred. We have that message there. Coming up on our top of descent. So I'm actually going to go ahead and
It was one in Fort Moderate
set our bottom altitude out at Elena. We can go down to, it's like 3,000 feet, so I'm going to set that in. Oops, there we go, 3,000 feet. Push the knob in, begin our descent. Yeah, and like you said, PHTO, this Airbus, if you program it right, it'll pretty much fly itself. Alright, island of Lanai off the nose there. You can see the lights of Lanai City.
3748, landing 135.
If that's the airport right there, I don't know. Home of the Lanai Cat Sanctuary. A random fact of the flight. Then we'll go back. Let's just look at these legs again. It's usually a good thing to do, especially if you had to descend via, which we're not just really descending via this arrival. Sort of are. It's kind of weird. We don't really have air traffic control on, but. Anyways, going to Nayat, which is on Victor 16. Then we have Lanai, Grammy, Savoy, Sierra, Saki, Jewel, outer below 14. And it's showing us crossing Jewel at 12,150, so we should be good. That's an expect to cross. We'll just, we'll say that we were cleared down to 3,000, cross Jewel outer below 14,000. And then we'll have Elena. And on 4 right, we'll just continue that transition right in. And so Elena, 3,000 feet, all the way around to Yepku. And then from Yepku to Debris, you can go down to 2,000, and then 1,500 to Pearly. And that published mist, climb to 540. We got to turn all the way around. You don't want to hit the mountains there, just on the other side, northeast of Honolulu. And climb right turn to 3,000 on a heading of 220. And outbound on the Honolulu 171 radial to Elena and hold. Oops, click here, you can see it's showing, we're doing a 351 inbound course, that's what we're showing, and then right hand turns, so great. There's that alternate missed approach holding. But, oh, looks good. For the next part of this, let's see, I need to check the, its accurate chart. UVA International 24 January 20, 11-1, ILS Yankee 4 right. Look like your frequency is 110.5. India, uniform Mike. This should be shown in the rad nav now. Yeah, 110.5. Excellent. And like we said, the weather's VMC right now, so plenty of visibility. MS airport elevation is 13 feet. Let's check our pressurization here, showing 40 feet. So yeah, that'll be just right. Alright, just crossing over Lanai. The MSA is 4,400 to the east, 5,300 to the northwest, 4,000 to the southwest around Honolulu VOR. Highest obstacles are those mountains out to the northeast. It looks like we should have a PAPI on the left side of the runway. Miles are lighting coming in there. And if we land, looks like we're in some clouds. What are we showing for our? So we're -2 TAT. We need to get some anti-ice on. Visible moisture. Looks like it went away. Huh. Alright, back to standard on the anti-ice. Anyways, where was I? If we land on runway 48, it'll be a left-hand turn off. We might be able to make Echo. Be great because we're parking at Echo 5 right there. Might make Hilo or all the way to the end. We'll get clearance to cross runway 4 left and 8 left. Taxi into the ramp via Zulu. That's all I have. So quick flyby outside. There's the Lanai airport. The KTO, which A320 do you fly? Do you fly here on X-Plane 11 or you fly on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020? Yeah, I do fly on the Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 with that fly-by-wire mod. I think it's pretty nice too. Alright, so we are now going through flight level 180. Let's do the approach descent check. Altimeters, we need to get those set to 29er, 89er. Get our lights on. I know some pilots, you know, they'll wait to turn the land lights on until you're cleared to land. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn them on tonight so I don't forget. And alright, approach descent check, approach briefing complete, FMC's radio is programmed set for approach. ECAM status check complete. JetBlue radar is terrain left, radar right. Airspeed for the approach. Full flaps, 133 is our target. The target is set. MDA is set. Auto brakes are set low. Altimeter set. Landing lights on. Approach descent check complete. And there's the bustling metropolis of Honolulu at our 12:30.
After this approach, depart probably heading 320, time to maintain 6,000.
Alright, so we had that crossing restriction at Joule. We're below 14, and we are below 14. Now we're actually at 12,700 feet. So no problem making that restriction. And temperature outside is warmed up to a tad of 10 C, so we're good. Shouldn't need any ice coming in here on this descent through the cloud layer. Alright, so another thing to look at, what is the FMS planning for us at EFQ up there? It's saying we'll be at 3,000 feet. So that's good. 6,150 at Elena. And we still have 7,000 to lose. So that all matches up. Because if you take the thousands of feet you have to lose, multiply it by 3, 7 times 3 would be 21 miles out. And that's if we descended at 5 times our ground speed, so that'd be 1,500 feet per minute. And that would be without slowing down. So you need to add some, a few nautical miles on for slowing the aircraft down. But we're showing Yepku's at 30 nautical miles out on the rings here, so yeah, we're right on track. Looks like the autopilot's doing a great job of managing our energy for us. But that's the thing, when you're flying an fully automated plane like the Airbus or really any of these modern airliners, you can't get lazy, you can't get complacent, and you need to keep checking it. And one of the ways you can do that is just a little bit of mental math and checking it against the computer, making sure everything makes sense. Keeps you awake too. I'm gonna switch us over to the approach plate. Since we're coming up on Elena now. Honolulu International Traffic, United 70, 780, 620 miles to the east, inbound to land, runway 4 right. We'll be flying the ILS 4 right, Elena transition. Any traffic in the area, please advise Honolulu International. Hey, KDO, yes, I do have the Flight Factor A320. I can maybe fly that one of my next streams if you'd like. I do like that Flight Factor A320. They definitely, yeah, it's so cool. And what's neat about that Flight Factor, it has all of these different tests modeled. Like the pre-flight of this, you can't do the CVR test, you can't do the cargo smoke, but Flight Factor, it has all of those models.
29 down to about 25.
I agree with you completely. It's a great aircraft.
Continuous light occasional moderate, and then below that was just occasional flight. Thanks, have a good night.
Oh, let's see. I need to.
555 traffic approach 103.
Just checking this. Yep, I do have the TCAS. Should all be on. I think I was showing. There's supposed to be someone on VATSIM that's going into Honolulu. I've been having trouble with my VATSIM X-Squawk box showing other aircraft lately. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, so we're coming up on Elena now. We're at 6,700 feet. Our minimum altitude in this segment from Elena to Yepku is 3,000 on this DME arc. So we're looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the ToLiss. You can see we're showing India uniform Mike 110.5. And that matches the localizer identifier for ILS 4 right in Honolulu, so everything is looking good. have a master caution. Flight control SEC 1 fault. Okay. SEC 1 off, then on. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Off, then on. If unsuccessful, SEC 1 off, and speed brake do not use. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and disarm that then. We're not supposed to use it. Okay, we have that. It's understood. I'll go ahead and clear that. So speed brake do not use. Landing distance procedure apply. In-op systems spoilers 3 and 4 and SEC 1. You know what? We have, how much runway do we have here on 4 right? 4 right's 9,002 feet. We have plenty of runway. What I'm going to do, I'm going to increase our auto brake up to medium just to help with that increased land distance. Clear that. So I'd say one of the threats we have going in without the spoilers deploying, we have the potential for a bounced landing and not getting all that weight on the wheels coming in. So, yeah, we'll have let's see here, 6,000 pounds of fuel. It's about an hour and a half. 124 souls aboard. In Honolulu traffic, United 7786 is 15-mile final runway 4 right. We are declaring an emergency. Like to have the trucks rolling to runway 4 right. 124 souls on board. 1.5 hours, 1 hour 30 minutes of fuel on board. Any traffic in the area, please advise. It's United 7786 coming in runway 4 right, declaring an emergency. Alright. Hey KDO, thanks for being a great first officer there. Absolutely, call into ATC, call emergency if you don't have control. That's it. And I'll tell you, the thing is, if you have something like this going on, go ahead and get the trucks out there. That way, if something does happen, you know, they're already there, they're already prepared. And I'd go into the back, let the flight attendants know what's going on. Flaps 1, glide slope. The other things, we gotta make sure we keep flying the airplane here. Flaps 2. You're down. Alright, flaps 3. And ladies and gentlemen, Captain from the flight deck, we're just about 5 minutes from landing. Just wanted to give you a heads up if you see some fire trucks off the end of the runway. No need to be alarmed, we just have them there as a precaution. We're expecting to be on the ground here in just a few minutes. Should have you to the gate about 5 minutes early. Once again, thanks for choosing to fly with us here on United Airlines. And we'll talk to you again at the gate. Alright, so for our landing check, we'll go ahead full flaps. It's going to get mad at us for not arming the spoilers, but like we said, we can't speed brake do not use. Yeah, so you can see on the flight control page what's going on there. So alright, let's go ahead and finish the before landing check. Captain notification complete, landing gear down, 3 green. Lights, spoilers are not armed per emergency procedure, abnormal procedure here. Flaps full plan, full indicating, and missed approach. Which is a real possibility. 3,000 feet it is set. 1,000 missed approach altitude set. Runway's in sight. I'm going to go ahead and hand fly it from here. Alright. So we're gonna try to make sure that we do not try not to bounce it here. $500. And about a dot high on the glide slope.
400.
Roll in sight, landing.
100.
Alaska 129 radar contact 12 miles northeast Solo. Solo service sample.
20. Retard. 10. 5.
There, so we bounced a little bit. Need to get on the ground. I don't. Yeah, see, look at that. We were floating like crazy. So we need to get reversers in, full reverse. And I put you down. Stick. And there's 70 knots, and we're good. Manual braking, so we have that auto brake off now. I'm just gonna roll it to the end. Try to give the brakes a chance to cool. Alright, so we're safely on the ground.
Center right 541, starting on the 100,000.
541, roger. Last 805, cross home line.
Yeah, that was crazy how much. Okay, so we bounced, and it was floating like a Piper Warrior CRJ 200 going down the runway there. That's why they have those ground lift dumping devices on these aircraft. Alright. In Honolulu traffic, United 7786, clear runway 4 right at Alpha, crossing 4 left Alpha.
November 2, roger.
Alright, we're not going to touch anything configuration wise until we're completely clear of the runways. That's something the FAA really harps on. Alright, there we go. Honolulu International Traffic United 7786, clear runway 4 left at Alpha. Taxiing to Terminal 2 via Alpha and Zulu. Honolulu International. Alright, let's turn off these lights so we're not blinding everybody here. Gotta get the APU. Here's Zulu. We'll go ahead and turn on the Zulu. flaps up.
Diamond Star 6 build up here, back with you, 1,100, climbing 6,000.
I don't even have to
Diamond Star 680
disarm the spoilers.
Radar contact, to north of the Honolulu Airport. You're cleared to the Honolulu Airport direct
All right.
Victor 8 to Honolulu, maintain 6,000.
Turn off our radar. Fix the wind shear back off. Transponder on outs.
Flying 541, contact.
Alright, after landing check. Flaps up. Spoilers retracted. Landing lights, strobe lights off. Transponder on. APU APU is operating, starting up. After land check complete. Start time there. And KTO, nice safe landing, Captain. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's not about how comfortable it's that you're safe on the ground. Did bounce, that is true. And hey, like they always say, if it's a landing you can walk away from, it was a good landing. But really, I think that's just something to say to make yourself feel better when you slam it into the ground. But hey, we're here safely, right? Oops, looks like brakes have gotten hot. I'll turn on our brake fan here. Let's see which brake's hot. It's that left outboard. So I'll try to take my time here, and I'm just gonna use our right brakes. Let those left brakes cool. And it looks like it's good. Turn the brake fan back off. Alright, so for Terminal 2, it's going to be right here, just past this conglomeration of taxiways. Just past that Air Canada. Alright, APU has started. I'll get our APU bleeds on. Well, that was fun. You know, it's fun to have the just kind of random failures happen here with the ToLiss. Man, it looks like the brake got hot again. I'm just gonna leave the fan on until we park. I haven't even touched the brake. It's just heating up from it's just that Hawaiian heat. Alright, here we go. I love how bold these baggage cart drivers are in X-Plane Lemon. They will just drive right in front of you. I think they're even crazier in Flight Sim 2020 though. Alright, there's a WestJet and an American. Gate is right here. Yeah, I agree with you, KTO. It would have been interesting if I'd had an engine failure. So, I don't know if you follow V1. I think it's V1 Simmer. He has a YouTube channel. He's a real world A320 captain, and he was flying this ToLiss A319 and had an engine failure on his live stream. right after takeoff. It was pretty entertaining. He was not expecting it either, which made it fun. Okay, clear right, clear left. Here we go. Alright. Looks like it has us identified. And stop. There we go. Looks like our brakes have cooled off. I'm gonna turn off the brake and fan, park and brake, get that on. Alright. Looks like everything's good, so let's we'll turn off the engine. We'll start with 2 so we can get to the cargo compartments. And I just have to. So it looks like we landed negative 173 feet per minute per the United ACARS. Typically, that would be, you wouldn't bounce up in the air, so that's crazy. It's really neat. It simulates that though. All right, let's go through, get our after our parking flow here. It's getting pretty late where I live, so starting to drag a little bit. I'm guessing there's probably a cool down period before you turn off the ADRs in real life, but I'll have to do some research on that. Get our beacon off, and let everybody get up. Seatbelt sign off. Everybody's always ready to get up when you have a that seatbelt sign comes off. Myself, I usually just stay seated for a while because, hey, you're not going anywhere, right? Yeah, let's get the jet bridge connected here. Oh, where is it? Yeah, we're ready.
Bridge 9195 maintained by level 370.
I think it'll connect. Maybe it already has. Oh, yep, already has. Well, great. Alright, parking check. Parking brake is set. I always gotta check the pressure on this A320. APU set. Engine master switch is off. Fuel flow is 0. Transponder standby. Emergency lights off. Beacon checked off. Fuel pumps off. Anti-ice off. ACARS in flight. ADRs off. Parking check complete. Let's get the ground handling in here. We'll need our catering, fuel for the next guys. Hey, we might need an ambulance for those people that were kind of scared out there, so cool. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today. KDO, you in particular, thanks for joining in. Thanks for your assistance on this flight. And stay tuned. I'll try to post a schedule when I figure out when I want to get on Twitch. For the next stream, maybe I'll do the Flight Vector A320. Until then, VREF Simmer signing off. See you all again in the air soon.